wrestling business. Hosted by the boss, his name is Cody. That's the homeboy. Go home, boy, before you get evicted. We about to get it on. Your boy Josh Harper, the favorite in a row. The real deal, Hill, Daddy Bills is a beast with the mouthpiece. Talk dumb and up on the floor. Tell me when to go. Every week we do this. Hit him with a little bit of sweet chin music. And I only beef over cake like Brutus. The barber and Ann Arbor, MIW, go hard like. Where do we come from? What do we do? Dissect matches and break down moves. You're tuned in to an interlude. When I look into the middle of your mind, that's an interview. Independent, you better get with the movement. We only winning, we never been in the losing. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and see us on the news.
Welcome to Michigan Independent Weekly. I'm your host, Josh.
I'm Cody.
I'm Dan.
Please smash that thumbs up button and subscribe if you already haven't.
Yes.
Yes, you have to subscribe. Also, click on the bell right next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get notified whenever there's content on the channel, like interviews, MIW, Rasslin Rage, or the matches. If you don't, then don't whine to us when you don't get nothing.
What a nice guy.
Yeah,
Yes,
I've been telling these people since day one.
it's true. Yes, usually interviews are on Wednesdays. This week, I'm sitting down with Robin Nelson, the host of Wrestle Popcast and Beyond the Bell for Future Great Wrestling down there in Ohio. You've seen those guys. We know a bunch of those dudes from down there.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Of course, MIW is on Tuesdays. You know this because you're watching right now. You can find matches and or interviews on Fridays and our flagship show, Rasslin Rage, live every Sunday at 8 p.m.
That's always fun to be in the live chat and have fun conversations with everyone. Makes everything a little better. But that's everything for YouTube. But we now also have audio content that's out there too. So if you want to listen to this fantastic voice without seeing any of our faces, really, if I'm being honest, Podbean is our primary upload spot. It's a real convenient way for you to listen to it, maybe when you're driving, mowing the lawn, taking care of the garden, whatever you need to do. And you can also find our show anywhere where major podcasts can be found. Anywhere, because we are everywhere.
World
Yeah, you know what?
domination.
I gotta apologize because, through this whole thing, we can't get no haircuts, can't get no trim ups. Everybody looking rough out there. Anyway,
Good.
I don't want to forget about our sponsors, man. We got Facebook for BCWA. If you want to find them on Facebook, they're at Go BCWA. If you want to go to their website, check out what they've got. It's gobcwa.com. They make it real easy for everybody. You can scroll down in the description and you'll find one of the things that makes me happy in my life, man, and he loves it when I have to say it. I think he pays Cody to make sure this happens this way.
Every week.
Kind of.
Mr. Happy Harper and Happy Harper Ice Cream. Go down the description and you'll find a way to get a hold of that man.
Order some ice cream.
Yeah, get some ice cream.
Lots of ice
Trust
cream.
me, you'll love the ice cream.
That's for sure. It's like crack, I swear. Yes, thank you to those sponsors, BCWA, as well as Happy Harper Ice Cream, the man with the plan over there, the CEO, president and CEO of Happy Harper Ice Cream, the president of the Whiteboard Army. Is there anything else that you are? Dirty Black
5-star flavor general.
Dirty Black Josh.
Dirty Black Josh.
Dirty Black Thumb.
Hmm.
Anything else? I find it
Nah,
odd,
that's
though,
pretty much
Dirty
it.
Black Josh has a dirty black thumb. That's kind of racist. Anyways.
That's what happens when
You're
only
just
use one
upset
ply.
because you're not the thumb wrestling champion.
This is true. I am kind
Did
of
you hear
upset
me?
about- What?
That's what happens when you only use one ply.
It's all like a fine.
Two
man.
ply.
Anyways, this week on MIW, we're breaking down the factions in Michigan. There's several of them. Make sure to head on over to the group. We talked about that. There's a description down there, or in the description. There's a link to that. But head on over to the group and vote on this poll, because next week we're going to do a show about the top faction according to the fans in Michigan. Okay? So,
Let us know what you think.
right, we're going to do a more in-depth look at that faction. Okay?
Because if your faction don't win, you can't blame us.
Right, because you didn't vote.
No, get over there and vote.
That's right. Vote, sucker. What do you guys say? Let's talk Michigan indie factions.
Let's do
Yeah,
this.
man.
All right, we're going to talk about the Nomads. We got the club director, Donahue. We got the big bad wolf, A7. We got the bearded brawler, Mo Evans. The walking nightmare, Pickles the Clown. The lone wolf, Chuck Whedon. And Road Rash.
Now, there's a couple of these guys that I don't think I've ever seen. Pickles the Clown and Mo Evans. The rest of the gentlemen I've seen. Donahue, A7s, Chuck Whedon, and Road Rash. But
Yes.
I've never personally seen Mo Evans and or Pickles the Clown.
No, I've only seen them on video that's been shared from PPW. Every time that I've tried to make it to a PPW show, something has happened. Either someone got sick and one of the kids got sick, or the weather was bad, or a corona,
Or
something always happens.
coronavirus. Oh, sorry.
But yeah, we've seen Donahue. We've seen Ace a million times, and Big Chuck Whedon, the newest member.
Yep. One of our
Yeah,
buddies.
he's another one that we go back a ways with. And then Road Rash.
Yep, Road Rash. Road Rash. So I would say, I've never actually seen Donahue wrestle. I've seen him come out to the ring. I've seen him talk, but I've never seen him actually wrestle.
Right.
Now,
We've seen him with a ball bat.
I have not. I've only been to one PPW show, and that's when CJ was still with. CJ Anderson was still with the Nomads.
Yeah.
That's when Billy Ray was still with the Nomads.
Right.
That was a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. That was OVE night. OVE versus the Nomads.
Mm-hmm.
That was just after OVE won or lost their tag titles in Impact.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they were.
Now was that Ace in CJ tag teaming?
Yeah.
They we've seen them a couple of times at Blue Water.
Mhm.
And there was a beatdown coming.
Right. Yeah. Well, and let's say Chuck Whedon, man. I mean, the guy stands what, 6'3", 6'1".
That's a
6'2"?
big dude. Yes.
He's a big bro, man. He's not somebody, and I think he drives a Fat Boy.
Yes, he does.
I think he rides a Fat Boy, and it's fully dressed too, no doubt.
And he likes beating people up. We know that.
Yeah, it's fully dressed. It's got everything on it, man. It's a nice bike too. I wish I had me a bike like that, but I don't think I'm big enough for a bike like that. You know what I'm saying? I think that bike would be too big for me. Josh,
It'd be fun to watch you try.
Josh, I think it would be a nice bike for you.
It'd be fantastic. I got bad balance, so I need one of those tricycle motorcycles.
Listen, you can put the cart on it and Cody can ride inside.
There you go.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. We'll do that. I'm down with that. Now, this is the only faction in Michigan who considers themselves somewhat of a club, I would say.
Yeah, they're more of a club.
There is no other faction in the state of Michigan that considers themselves something like that.
No.
And they're very well known for not following the rules.
Oh yeah.
They're very well known for DQs.
Yes.
What
ball bats?
Ball bats. They're kind of, it's few more members, but it's kind of reminiscent of old school Four Horsemen without the weapons, of course, because Four Horsemen really didn't use weapons. But
yeah,
that's kind of what they did for a long time.
And their following is very dedicated.
Yeah. Well, I would say, not so much because in Rising Action Wrestling, not so much in Rising Action Wrestling, but out the Flint area, Saginaw, that way, with the PPW shows, yeah, they have a real hardcore following in the PPW fan base. But I wouldn't say so much in Rising Action Wrestling right
No,
now.
you know what? They're starting to build that in Rising Action.
Well, they're the bad guys.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
not
you know-
supposed to be liked.
well, that's it. But even in in the Saginaw Flint area, the more stuff that they do
Mhm.
wrong, the more the fans love them up there. You know,
Well, I mean, it's Flint area,
Well,
bro.
and
What do you
you-
expect?
Right.
and you know when Billy Ray, man, that beat down, you know, it's not knowing that we're friends with PRD. When that beat down came, you know, it was because he lost, and that's what happens when you lose. You know, I mean, they
Yeah.
just came in and they beat him down.
I guess.
You
I
know?
mean, I like the guys. I do. I like what they do. I like it as far as the industry goes. Do I see them taking out DTA? I don't know. I really don't. Would I love to see? Let me be perfectly honest. Would I like to see a War Games style type thing go down in the state of Michigan?
There you go.
And it has to be the major factions. I don't want you to just to throw some dudes, a couple teams together and say, "Hey, let's have War Games." No, I want to see the legit Michigan factions: DTA,
Yes.
the Nomads, Kira Clan.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
I've been saying since we started talking about this, that I would love to see the top two teams, whoever they may be, somewhere down the road, face off to see who the one team is.
Right.
Even a Survivor Series elimination style match would be nice.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well,
for sure.
yeah, Survivor Series style. I mean, I love the War Games idea because that's old school like me, you know. And a lot of people been teasing
No,
it
wait,
for a
you're
while.
not old school. You're just old.
Well, yeah, I just been around long enough to watch all that stuff.
Means you're old.
Yeah, I remember the first one.
Ever. The first wrestling match ever. Cain and Abel started wrestling around and Cody was sitting there. Yeah!
Lord almighty, you guys. Next up on the list, I don't know. Who are we going to talk about next?
Now, going from a serious game like the Nomads, the next one that we have to go to is Studio 86, the fun-loving people that we're seeing all the time at BCWA. These guys are absolutely phenomenal. If you ever get the chance to see them, they're fun from the second they come, from before they come out. As soon as their music hits, get people dancing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have Mike Blackwell, Big Daddy, Bill Martell, Maserati Rick, and Nick Braxton.
Now, you see, you know, like Josh said, these guys are a lot of fun. But when the fun stops, that's when Big Daddy steps up.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Maserati Rick and Bill Martell are the current BCWA Tag Team Champions.
Yes.
And they chased those for a while before they got them.
Yes. Now, the question becomes, right, because here it is, we're going fan votes, the fans vote on who is the top faction in Michigan currently, right? And these are the options that we are presenting right now. Okay. We haven't even got to them all yet, but talk about some very, very intense competition here. If we were to have, which we've talked about a little bit ago, if we were to have said battle between all factions, right? You have Big Daddy, and you also have Mike Blackwell, right?
Yes.
Big Daddy's going to have big target painted on him.
Who else? I don't only think there's maybe one or two people that might be able to height-wise match into where Big Daddy is. As far
Congo
as height
Kong being one.
Yeah, that was it. Who else?
Godzilla?
Right.
Oh man.
He's the only, like, normally when I meet wrestlers, I go, oh man, that's cool. You're my height. He's the only one where he's sitting down and I'm eye level with him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
he don't say,
Huge.
and he don't say much. He just lets his fist do the talking.
right.
He doesn't have to.
Now,
Most of the time, he doesn't even have to get in the ring. He just takes his glasses off and people run.
now this faction is an exclusive faction to BCWA. And there
Yes.
are a couple factions in here that you see which will be throughout a few different organizations in the state of Michigan.
Mhm.
I think it's time to move on to the next faction.
Let's do it.
Next up on the list is H3RD, the Herd. That's correct. With members known as Deed Vaughn, the mad scientist Tommy Tresnick, Meatball, and Michael T.
That's Professor Meatball to you.
Meatball and Michael T. Daniels. Now, this is another faction that is exclusive to BCWA.
Mhm.
They are the former tag team champions as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yes. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan. Just not. They don't get my goat. Not a fan. Everybody has right to their own opinion, you know.
Yep.
And bad guys are supposed to be bad guys, and you're not supposed to like them. And I think these guys
yeah.
are bad guys, and I don't like them.
And they are solidly bad guys. I mean, a lot of times you go places and it's, oh, we're the bad guys, but we're the lovable bad guys. No, these are just bad from the second they come out, the way they dress, the way they walk, the way they talk. You're like,
Mhm.
no, I don't like you.
No, and we've seen him raise a hand to a fan, like they were going to put the smack down.
That ain't a good time.
I mean, the fact that we're sitting here trying to be professional, we still all had to call him Professor Meatball.
Professor Meatball.
We had to. It
Who
was
did?
necessary.
I
Because
didn't-
saying Wrecking Ball sounds wrong. It's Professor Meatball.
Yes.
it's Meatball.
Meatball.
It's Meatball.
Oh, you don't even give him the professor part.
No, it's Meatball. Meatball.
It's my favorite chant.
You know what it is.
Meatball.
Now we got the faceless.
Yep.
Sean Tyler, Kevin Calloway, and Justin Pilgrim.
Yes. Yes. You know, and Horror Slam guys, they're pro wrestling all-star guys. This is one of those factions you see throughout a couple different organizations in the state.
Yes. And you know, I've talked about it before. Kevin Calloway is he's not happy about all these people trying to keep other people positive during this whole thing, during this lockdown. And he said everyone will pay.
How do you think they'll pay?
I mean, he's good
Him
at
and
turning
Sean Tyler
hope
will
into
bring
despair.
despair. Yeah, despair.
And I know Justin Pilgrim's set to come back here very soon too.
Yes, he is.
I just interviewed him not too long ago, so I think he was saying like June, July.
So you know that when the way that Sean Tyler and Kevin Calloway have been performing lately, you add Justin Pilgrim back into that mix, it's gonna be serious.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know.
That's any belt that they want, they're gonna take.
And you know, we've seen Kevin Calloway over at XICW. We know Sean Tyler's over at XICW.
Mhm.
I wonder if
And we've really seen them grow.
Yeah, I wonder
Oh, yeah.
if we will see Justin Pilgrim over at XICW eventually
Oh,
as well.
I hope so.
Do we see the entire crew of the Faceless over at XICW?
Oh, I would love that.
You know, good
That
stuff.
means eventually we're gonna get the Faceless in a clash against the Clan.
Right. The thing is, though, it's not our choice who wins this.
Oh.
It's not our choice. It's the fans' choice.
It's
so
you
if
people.
that's right.
Gotta vote.
If you want the Faceless to be on the show next week, hopefully we can get them all on. If not, hey, it is what it is. But regardless, you have to vote for the Faceless as the top faction in the state of Michigan.
Yep. Whoever you want to win, you got to vote. Like I said, get your grandma to vote. Get your mama. Get your dad. Get your daddy's mama. Whoever you can get.
That neighbor down the street that you don't like because he doesn't put his trash in bags and it blows all over your yard, get him to vote.
Are you listening? Damn.
Next up, we got to talk about the Kira clan. Now, this group is exclusive to XICW, but you've got Alex Weir, the light heavyweight champion, MM3, the Midwest champion, Dre Jacobs, the Extreme Intense champion, Adam Wick, the Team Noah champion, Hyena Hagen, who just joined, but just being in it means he's going to have gold soon enough, and Johnny Delicious, the mouthpiece of the whole organization. You can't talk about a more dominant force as far as factions go than the Kira clan. They've got gold on almost every member.
Yeah, they are pretty dominant within XICW. There's no denying that one for sure. Absolutely.
No.
There's
In XI, you fight one, you fight all.
and we've seen that, and it talk about one of the moments that you were talking about on one of the previous shows there when we were at Warrior Rampage, and Jack Price, Aaron O'Ryan lost.
Former members of the Kira clan.
Right, lost a match against the Fun Loving Criminals, and the Kira clan.
Blood in, blood out.
Yeah,
That's it. Well, you know what? They're another group where you don't lose.
yeah. I was a little disappointed in that situation, anyways, with the Kira clan. I was kind of on board with the Kira clan at that point, and then once that happened, I'm no longer on that ship. That ship has sailed, and it can keep going that way.
That's when I stopped trusting the process myself. But at the same time, I mean, at that point, the only gold they didn't have, because they were the tag team champions too, and they haven't been able to recapture the tag team championship since. But at that point, the only gold they didn't have was Shogun's belt. They didn't have the Proving Ground championship.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have been able to hold on to those tag team championships, and then when the Noah belts were introduced, they got the Noah championships too, there'd be no gold left in XI that they didn't have.
That's it.
Well, and I think are they more obsessed with the trophies than they are with the domination? Because
I think the trophies are a sign of their domination.
Yes.
You think so? Really? Do you really think
Yeah.
so? That would be interesting to see. However, maybe they're dominant in XICW. Do the fans think they're a dominant faction throughout the state of Michigan?
We'll see.
We have to. Only the fans can make that choice.
Right?
Vote. Have you
Maybe
voted,
we
Josh?
can get Johnny Delicious on the show if they win.
Did you vote, Josh?
I voted.
Dan, did you vote?
I have not.
Neither have
Not
I.
yet. Not yet.
I haven't voted yet.
You know what? I don't want to just vote to vote. I want
Right.
to. I really want to put thought into it, so that I'm voting for the team that all around I think is the best.
Bro, it's not your first time getting laid, bro. I'm just saying.
He needs the moment to be special. He wants
Yes.
candles and music playing.
It's got to have candlelight. Little dude with a violin.
No, I don't want people watching.
He's blindfolded while playing the violin.
It's Factions on Michigan Independent Weekly. We have many already we've discussed, but next up on the list is the Death Threat Army. DTA.
GTA.
Now, this group has went through some metamorphoses over time. It didn't originally start in Michigan. It actually started in Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I could be wrong on that, but it starts with Aaron O'Ryan and some members that he was in the military with, to my understanding. And as he comes into Michigan, comes back from the military, he recruits some new members in, and one of those is Jack Price, a very dominant tag team, as well as a faction. Jack Price, Aaron O'Ryan.
We've seen some great names come through DTA.
Right.
Oh,
And then,
yeah.
you know, there was some interchangeable things that started to happen. People started to come into DTA like Adam Wick, like Alex Weir, like Tommy Vendetta, who is a current member of DTA.
Like Isaiah Broner.
Like Isaiah Broner, right? Now, there's been some shakeups. Karam was once in there as
Karam,
well.
yes.
You know, there's
Don't
been
ever
some
forget Karam.
shakeups. Some people have moved on, went to other places. There's, you know, some are here, some are there. But the three core members, as we know it right now, are Aaron O'Ryan, Jack Price, and Tommy Vendetta.
Mhm.
Aaron O'Ryan is the leader. We talked about it the other day, and Sunday we talked about it on Rasslin Rage, and we talked about Aaron O'Ryan versus, in our fantasy match, Aaron O'Ryan versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, and we talked about Aaron O'Ryan being a ring general and his ring presence. And when he's in the ring, you feel like he owns that ring. You feel like that's his ring.
Yes.
It's not a feeling. Feeling insinuates it's not a fact. He does.
Okay,
Yes.
I got that one.
And when they are with him, or he with them, however you want to put it, they all rise to the absolute top.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing. There's nothing that they wouldn't do for each other. And you know, they will put themselves through anything and anyone to protect the rest.
Right. And that's guys like Aaron O'Ryan and Jack Price are taking care of guys like Tommy Vendetta, who only have 1 to 2 years in the business.
Yeah.
And you know, Alex Weir, Adam Wick, Isaiah Broner, you know, helping them get ahead, helping them.
Yeah, and you know, and we've seen Aaron O'Ryan and Jack Price actually face off. Me and Cody have. I don't know if Josh has seen them or not, but we have seen them.
You can watch the video on r2youtube.com.
Yes. There you go. But what a phenomenal match. You know, you have two guys who, like you said, they've been here a little bit. They you know, there's no selfishness, you know, it's only for the brand. And that's what they say, for the brand.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, you know, it's hard. DTA is one of those factions that you see throughout the entire state and even in other states.
Yes.
There's an interchangeable thing. These guys are even over in Canada and multiple promotions over there as DTA, as Death Threat Army. Yes.
Can you really think of a promotion that you go to where DTA is not there?
Well, yes, I think so. But it's
hard for me.
It's only 1 or 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, but they're all pretty much there. You know what I mean? Definitely a dominant force. And I think that these guys are going to be the ones to beat in this top faction because they're such a dominant force and they bring so much to the table and they're across so many promotions.
Everywhere. There are more places than we are, despite the fact that we're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. We've got podcasts. Remember, we got the podcast now.
Yeah, it's on Podbean.
Exactly.
Podbean is what it's called. Say it with me. Podbean.
Podbean.
There you go.
Yes. Next up, we got the House of Truth, led by none other than Truth Martini. We have Isaiah Broner, Gracefully Chosen, and Congo Kong. Now, the first time I met Congo Kong was at a Blue Water Championship Wrestling event. And I have a picture of him, and the man put his hand on top of my head, He barely had to pick his arm up to do it. And his whole hand, if you look, his whole hand just kind of engulfs my head.
Engulfs your head?
Engulfs the top of my head. It reminded me of when I met Andre the Giant and shaking his hand, how like it felt like just someone took two hands and put it all around my hand. That's what it felt like on my head. Like I wasn't even trying, and it was like a vice on my head.
Wait a
Wow.
minute. You met Andre the Giant?
Yes,
When?
I met him. I was 16 years old, and we went to a house show in Detroit at Kobo. He was still wrestling then. He was wrestling as the heel, and he came out, and we were front row. And I put my hand out, and he actually did shake my hand because no matter how bad Andre wanted to be, he was never mean to kids.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool story. Now,
Man, you're old.
I knew that was coming. I knew it. I knew it.
But
So-
you know, you're jealous that I met Andre.
Right.
Yeah.
Back to the House of Truth here.
Now,
We're talking.
Grace-
We're talking. You have a faction that's growing. You know this.
yes.
This stems from years ago, and then Truth Martini took a break from wrestling for a while, and here he is back, and he's rebuilding the House of Truth.
Yes.
You know, he used the House of Truth, or he had a faction, the House of Truth, in Ring of Honor at one time as well.
Mhm.
And now here he is in the Michigan independent scene, bringing on guys like Isaiah Broner, Gracefully Chosen, who are one of the top level tag teams in the state
Oh
of
yeah.
Michigan.
You know,
And they got
they're
there
young.
very, very quickly.
Yeah,
That
they're
makes a
young.
big name for themselves.
Very young.
well, you know, it's too bad because they were really starting to gain momentum, and then wrestling stopped.
Right.
Yep.
But I'm going to tell everybody who's watching, when wrestling starts back up, if you get a chance to see Gracefully Chosen, please do yourself a favor and go watch these guys.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And
And
with
they're trained by Truth Martini.
Yes.
and with the House of Truth, that's the thing. A lot of the people he's picking are people that were trained in the House of Truth.
Yeah.
So he's
Top
cherry
tier
picking
guys.
the best of the top tier that he's
Yes.
trained over the years. And really, he's trained 90% of the state of Michigan at this point. How many? When you think of a name where you're like, oh man, I love that person. Where'd they go from? Oh, House of Truth. Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
And then you have, and the name says it all. You don't get a name like 7 Mile Destroyer, because you can't hang in the ring. You know, he's got this nice little saying that he likes to tell his opponents.
Right.
Mr. Cody, would you like to give that one?
No. No.
Night, night, female dog.
Right. Night, bitch. Okay. I did it. But yeah, good stuff. House of Truth, dominant force. But again, it's not for us to choose.
Nope.
Now, we've had a few different times where we're talking about people that are exclusive to one particular promotion, but this group's not even exclusive to Michigan. They spend a lot of time south of us, but you got War Inc. Dre Jacobs, Justin Dream, the modern day shaman, TJ Meyer. You want to talk about they're a small group, but they're a powerful group. And they all just look like they should be together, beating people up in the deserted wasteland of the future.
Right.
Yes.
We just talked about this before we even hit the record button. You know, I said that when I hear these names, I think of Mad Max. I think that's exactly what I think.
You do.
Right.
do.
As soon as I hear the names, without even that, boom, that's the first
Mhm.
comes to my head right now.
But the good thing is, since I said it first on camera, all that credit goes to me. But I mean, these guys are kicking butts in multiple states, in multiple promotions. They're fantastic.
Yes.
If you're looking
Dangerous.
for a group, if you're looking for a group to vote for that isn't just in one place, that's going all over, War Inc. might be the people that you need to vote for. But the big thing is vote.
Exactly.
But they're dangerous individually and dangerous together.
You know what though? I think you both should say something really nice about TJ Meyer so that he likes you again.
Hey, you know what? I was gonna say, listen, TJ is the rookie. He's the young guy in the group. But you know what? I think he's where he's absolutely supposed to be in that group. He can hang with the rest of those guys.
Right. Well, I mean,
I'll say two nice things. TJ Meyer is probably one of the hungriest young guys in Michigan. If you want to talk about people that don't have that much time under their belt, but they're going to every promotion, every show that they can get their hands on, they're facing every person that can be put in front of them and putting on an amazing match every time. You got to talk about TJ Meyer. Mm-hmm. He's an amazing wrestler, just getting better every single time that he gets in there. And hanging out with these guys is just going to make him better. He's learning from the people that can teach him. He's picking it up. He's getting it better. And, I mean, he's fantastic with his makeup.
You guys are such kiss asses. Here we are with the very last faction that we currently know of in the state of Michigan. The one, the only, the Threat.
Probably the most experienced
Absolutely.
out of all of them.
Absolutely the most experienced.
Oh, yeah.
You just put the one name in there. And amazing Nate Matson, right? There's a whole lot of experience right there.
Ooh, yes, definitely.
Then the next one. Here comes the next one. You ready for this? Whole lot. Briar Wellington. Whole lot more experience too, Rivera. Steve Rivera, right?
Yes.
Zach Main, who's not official yet. Still
he's trying.
He's getting there. And then Atlas Hightower, right?
Yes. Atlas has been around for a while too. These are guys who have been around the block a few times. They know probably every trick in the book.
Right. And then
because they've used every trick in the book.
Well, that's it. You know what? A lot of teams have seen the movie. These guys wrote the book.
Right. Somebody moonlights a little bit there with the Threat too, Truth Martini.
Yes, he does.
Oh, yeah.
You add that, man, think about that. Just think about it for a minute. You add what Truth brings into that mix of veterans.
Yeah. And this mix here have held a very a vast array of the belts in Pro Wrestling All-Stars. And there was a time, if I'm not mistaken, that they held a majority of the belts in Pro Wrestling All-Stars.
Well,
now, I know that's not currently, but
right. Well, and if you took the singles titles that those guys or tag team titles that those guys have held over the years, then I would love to see that list.
Well, you could sit down with any one of these guys, and there's 20 plus years with one,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're talking 60, 70, 80 years of experience of wrestling.
I would say you probably could push 100 years of experience there almost.
And you got Truth Martini, who's been to Japan and wrestled in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I mean,
Nate was NWA.
Mm-hmm. It's just Briar Wellington. He was. He's wrestled some of the craziest people we know.
Yes.
Sabu.
He is one of the craziest people that we know.
Same thing with Amazing Nate Matson. Amazing Nate Matson's had his hand in help training a lot of some big names
still
that are
to this day
working. Yeah, currently working in big places.
Yes.
And
always willing to help out. Always willing to give advice to anybody who's willing to listen.
Now, the question is, does all that experience make them, in the fans' eyes, the top faction in the state of Michigan?
You know what? The fans got to speak up if that's who they want.
Now, this is a faction that isn't known for doing good things.
No.
Now, when I say good, I mean, they're known for doing things that people may not like. They're the bad guys.
They're not called the Promise.
Right?
The
Yeah,
promise.
absolutely.
The promise. Listen to this guy. The promise. And they go walk around the ring. Oh, sorry. But yeah, definitely a lot of experience there. And only the fans can decide this one. And hopefully we can get whoever wins this poll here we got going on Michigan Independent Weekly. And we can get that faction on.
Yeah, at least one or two members of it anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
There's all the factions we know about in the state of Michigan. Make sure you scroll down in the description where you'll find a link to our group where you can vote. Make sure you vote. If you want to get a faction through, you gotta vote. It has nothing to do with us, guys. It's all about you. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already.
Yes, please subscribe. We're on YouTube, but we're also uploading audio content to Podbean. That's right, Podbean. You can find a link in the description for our Podbean website where you'll find all the audio content where you can either listen right there, because it's very mobile friendly, by the way. If you're on your mobile and you go on the app there, you can just listen right through the app for free. Doesn't cost anything.
Hey, even I downloaded it and didn't mess it up.
Right. There you go. So make sure you scroll down in the description for that. And please follow us there on Podbean as well. There's a little follow button. Click it there. That helps us out as well. Don't forget, you can also find links to the MIW group and page for Rasslin Rage and Michigan Independent Weekly as well. Thank you to our sponsors, BCWA and Happy Harper Ice Cream.
Thank you to everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us this week and every week. Tune in Sunday on Rasslin Rage live in the chat where you get to talk with everyone. Honestly, if you're watching it at a different time, if you're watching it on Facebook or Twitch, that's cool. But come on over to YouTube Sunday, 8 o'clock, Rasslin Rage live in the chat. We're going to conclude this conversation about who the fans think the top faction is in the state of Michigan. So, I mean, you got to vote. And after you vote, you got to join us on Sunday at 8 o'clock. Got to get in that live chat. I'm Josh. Thank you for meeting us in Michigan Independent Weekly. I'm Josh.
I'm Dan.
I'm Cody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate every one of you. And we look forward to seeing you next week on Michigan Independent Weekly. And also Sunday on Rasslin Rage.
Sunday, Rasslin Rage.
Sunday.